I don't know आज क्या scene है, I think it's just bad luck today. Anyway, I'm just gonna wait for a minute. सर ये क्यों हो रहा है? पता नहीं क्यों हो रहा है. I don't know. It's beyond me. Yeah. No, I don't have PTCL. Thank God I don't have PTCL. So can you please explain the difference between simple and modulus function? Stream keeps dying because of my internet. Okay. I think this time the problem is with the router. So sorry about that. Acha, since we've joined again, please like the stream again. I'll appreciate that. No, ही आज math की class नहीं है. ठीक है? Acha, okay. So this is the question that we were on. So basically you have absolute of x minus 2, x plus 1 and x plus 2. ठीक है? So we have our x-intercepts 2, minus 2, minus 1 and positive 2. ठीक है? अच्छा. We know what the shape is going to be, but remember it's going to be an absolute graph. ठीक है? अच्छा, one thing you want to find out before you make your graph is the y-intercept. ठीक है? Y-intercept निकालने के लिए हम क्या करेंगे? Y-intercept निकालने के लिए we'll plug in x as 0. So 0 minus 2, okay? 0 plus 1 and then 0 plus 2. Okay, now yes, the value is going to be negative. Okay, once we turn it into absolute, it's going to be positive, but we will have the negative value for a while. Why? Because we're going to show the whole transition. Okay, so basically minus 2, 1 and 2. Okay, so minus 2 into 1 into 2 is minus 4, which yes, when we absolute it, it's going to be positive. Okay, so that means initially it's going to be minus 4. Okay, now remember you're going to be doing this with a pencil. Okay, you're not going to be doing this with a pen. So our graph is going to go something like this. Okay, actually not like this, it's going to be a lot neater than that. अच्छा, -4 का हम एक काम करते हैं, -4 का ना ज़रा नीचे शिफ्ट कर लेते हैं. ठीक है. Now I know what you guys are thinking. You guys are probably thinking कि ऐसा तो हमारा ग्राफ नहीं होना चाहिए because it's absolute. ठीक है. Yes, we did find the coefficient of x. वो कैसे? If you can just sort of mentally think what will happen when you multiply x and x, you'll get x cubed. ठीक है? अच्छा, now if I leave it here, I'm not going to get all the marks because what I need to do is I need to turn the negative part into absolute. So this part will be reflected above the x-axis. So that means this -4 is no more going to be -4. Instead, it's going to be +4. So this is what it's going to be now. Okay, and this part, also this part, will be reflected above the x-axis. Okay, now I know what you guys are probably thinking. You guys may be thinking, do we need to leave the below the x-axis part as it is? The answer to that is no. You can either make it dotted or you can erase it completely. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make it dotted. Okay, so there's evidence that yes, there was something below the x-axis. Okay, but now what we have done is we've gotten rid of it. Okay. There you go. Ln graph and exponential graph, but I haven't planned that in today's stream. Okay, let's hope and pray that doesn't come tomorrow, so we can do that in the later streams. Okay, so this question is also a similar question, so I'm going to skip this. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to do this question. This is from May June 2018, paper 2, variant 1. Okay. So first things first, you have to bring this in this form. Now, being a math student, we know that there are multiple ways of doing that. Okay. So we can expand the left hand side, x squared plus 2qx plus q squared plus r. Okay. So px squared plus 2pqx plus pq squared plus r is equal to 5x squared minus 14x minus 3. Okay. Achha. Then what is it that we're going to do next? We're going to compare. So we can see that what is p is equals to, p is immediately equal to 5. Okay. And we can see that minus 2pq is equals to minus 14. Sorry, positive 2pq. So 2pq is equals to minus 14. Okay, we know that the value of p is 5. So 2 times 5 times q is equals to minus 14, which means q is equals to minus 14 upon 10 okay, or q is equals to minus 1.4. Okay, and then let's find out the value of r, for which we're going to do p, which is 5, q squared, which means minus 1.4 squared, plus r, and that's equal to what? That's equal to minus 3. Okay, we're comparing the constants. So let's work it out. 5 into minus 1.4 squared, so that is 9.8 plus r is equals to minus 3. So r is equals to minus 3 minus 9.8, minus 3 minus 9.8, so that is minus 12.8. Okay, now that we have done everything, okay, let's just put it all together nicely. So p is 5, x minus 1.4, the whole thing square, minus 12.8. Okay, so now we have expressed it in the way that the question asked us to. Okay, acha, what's next is we'll see about that. Okay, I have to make a couple of videos also. Okay, so we'll see about that. Okay, next it says sketch the graph of y is equals to absolute of 5x square minus 14x minus 3. Okay, show clearly any points where your graph meets the coordinate axis. Okay, so we have to make a minimum curve. ठीक है, एक minimum curve बनेगा, and the x and the y coordinate of the turning point are basically going to be, walaikum assalam. Okay, what is the turning point? Please tell. Turning point is basically, my mic is disturbing, echo हो रहा है. Okay, wait a minute. अच्छा, अब fixed है. Okay, so it's fine now. Okay, so the turning point is going to be what? The turning point is going to be 1.4 comma minus 12.8. Okay, yeah, you can also do dy by dx is equals to 0. Okay, you could also do that. Okay, so minus 1.4 is equal comma 12.8. Okay, so you have to be very careful over here. This is minus so this is minus 1, minus 2, this is 1, and this is 2. 1.4 is basically going to be in between 1 and 2. Okay, and that means it's going to be basically closer to 1 than it is to 2. Okay, and what about the y coordinate of the turning point? The y coordinate of the turning point, एक काम करते हैं, इसको ज़रा space out कर लेते हैं. Okay, so that we have enough room to play around. So here's 1 and here's 2. Okay, now the first thing we need to do is we need to find out we know we have the turning point. Okay, the turning point is what? The turning point is basically 1.4 and minus 12.8. So let's say over here is minus 12.8. Okay, so let's say over here we have minus 12.8. ठीक है, इसको mark कर लेते हैं. Okay, this is the turning point. Now let's find out. We can see that the y-intercept is going to be minus 3. Okay, if you plug in x is equals to 0, so you can see that the y-intercept is going to be minus 3. Now this I'm talking about before applying the modulus. Okay, so the y-intercept is minus 3, so that means it's going to be somewhere over here. Okay, so let's find out the x-intercepts. Okay, how will you find out the x-intercepts? By setting the entire equation equal to 0. Now again, to save some time, I am going to use the calculator. ठीक है, अच्छा अभी हम क्या करें? अभी हम we're just treating it like a regular quadratic function and plotting it. Okay, we're just treating it like a regular quadratic function and then plotting it. ठीक है, minus 14 minus 3. Okay, so one x-intercept is going to be 3, or x is equals to minus 1.5. Okay, yes, so basically whenever you're comparing it with the completed square form, remember that the x coordinate of the turning point always gets its sign changed, while the y coordinate of the turning point, the sign of y coordinate of the turning point remains the same. Okay, acha, okay. Now, so what do we have? We have our x-intercepts also. Okay, we have that one x-intercept is basically 3 and one x-intercept is basically minus 1.5, so that means it's going to be somewhere over here. Okay, so I'm putting cross wherever the graph is passing through. Okay, so I have crossed out, you can see that I have crossed out 1, 2, 3, 4 points. That means these are the 4 points through which the curve is passing. Okay, so I'm going to make it like a regular curve, like I don't know that it's absolute, and then we're going to see what happens because of the absolute sign. Okay, so now that we've made it like a regular absolute curve, okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to apply modulus to it, and once we do apply modulus to it, okay, what happens is this minus 3 becomes plus 3 and this minus 12.8 becomes what? Becomes positive 12.8. So jitna niche utna upar aayega. So this becomes 12.8. So that means after applying modulus, this is what our new graph becomes. Okay, now next thing we're going to do is we're going to make the curve that's below dotted. Okay, so that there's some evidence. But even if you erase it completely, don't worry, it will still be marked correctly. ठीक है? अच्छा, अब एक interesting सवाल है, उसको ज़रा यहाँ पे extend कर लेते हैं. ठीक है? Now there's an interesting question. Now the interesting question over here is, state the set of values of k for which 5x square minus 14x minus 3 has exactly 4 solutions. Now first of all, I want you to tell me what exactly do we mean by 4 solutions. Okay, I want to know what exactly do we mean by 4 solutions. Yeah, it's okay if you don't draw the dotted part, that's okay, it's nothing to worry about. Yeah, okay, so basically 4 solutions means that 4 points of intersection. Okay, so basically solution का यहाँ पे क्या मतलब है? Solution का यहाँ पे मतलब है intersection. ठीक है, अब एक काम करो, ना आप लोग तो इसको physically कर रहे होंगे. So imagine you have a scale. Okay, this is your scale. Okay, slide around your scale and see where should you place the line. Okay, so where should your line be in between so that it cuts the curve at 4 points. Okay, so imagine that you're sliding this line around. Okay, remember you're only looking at the part that's above the x-axis because the part that was below, we've gotten rid of that. Okay, so where exactly should be the line so that, or what exactly should be the range of y values where this horizontal line is going to cut the curve at 4 points. Okay, so अब बताओ ज़रा मुझे क्या आंसर होगा इसका. Greater than 0, okay, then what else? Yes, from 0 to 12.8, exactly. So for as long as your line is above the x-axis, okay, you can see that it's cutting the curve at 4 points, 4 points, 4 points, 4 points, and up until the point where it reaches 12.8. Okay, so it has to be below 12.8 because at exactly 12.8 it's going to be tangent to one point and it's going to be cutting the curve at 2 other points. So that means it has to be in between 0 and 12.8. Okay, so what is our answer going to be? Our answer is going to be k is greater than 0 and less than 12.8. Okay, so that was another question. Acha, the questions that I'm skipping, I'm only skipping because they're similar. Okay, that's the only reason why I'm skipping them. So this was also similar. Okay, this is also similar. एक ये सवाल करते हैं फिर let's just call it off. ठीक है, this is the last question guys. इसके बाद you guys should do revision, go through your notes, whatever. ठीक है, but this is the last question. So domain and range of ln and e functions quick recap. बेटा इन questions का quick recap नहीं हो सकता. ठीक है, functions की मैंने stream की हुई है. ठीक है, I've done a thorough stream of functions. Go check that out. ठीक है, जो चीज़ प्लान की होती है उसी पे ज़्यादा टाइम स्पेंड करें तो सही, अदरवाइज विल जस्ट बी बाउंसिंग अराउंड. ठीक है, किसी का फ़ायदा नहीं होगा इससे. ओके, लेट्स गेट बैक टू वर्क. सो दिस इज़ अ क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम May June 2020 पेपर 11. ठीक है, it says find an expression for f of x. Okay, so notice how you're given the graph and now you have to find an expression. ठीक है, how exactly are we going to do that? Let's see. So basically what do we have over here? We have minus 2, and what do we have over here? We have minus 1, and what do we have over here? We have 5. ठीक है, अब expression कैसे निकालेंगे? Since one x-intercept is 2, that means x plus 2. ठीक है, x plus 2. Let me just write this again. And since one x-intercept is minus 1, that means x plus 1. ठीक है, remember you're doing reverse engineer. ठीक है, and then one x-intercept which is 5, that means x minus 5. Okay, now what you don't know is basically the coefficient of x cube. ठीक है, so for that we're gonna have k over here. अच्छा, अब मुझे एक बात बताएं, what are we going to plug in to find out the value of k? Okay, have a good look at the graph and tell me what are we going to plug in to find out the value of k. Elaborate करके बताओ. 5 is not enough. 5 is not enough. Okay, set y equal to 5 and then set y is equals to 5. What else? What else? And x is 0. Yes. So basically y is 5 and x is 0. Okay. So 0 plus 2, 0 plus 1 and 0 minus 5. So then what happens? 5 is equals to k. This becomes 2, this becomes 1, this becomes minus 5. So 2 into 1 is 2, 2 minus 5 is minus 10. So that means k is equals to minus 1 upon 2. Okay, so now we have our complete expression. F of x is equals to minus 1 upon 2 bracket x plus 2, ठीक है, bracket x plus 1 bracket x minus 5. ठीक है, अच्छा, अब f of x is lesser than or equal to 0. So I want you guys to look at this closely and tell me f of x is lesser than or equal to 0 का क्या आंसर होगा? What part of the curve are we interested in when it says f of x is lesser than or equal to 0? Above the x-axis or below the x-axis? Below the x-axis, yes. So that means there are two parts that are below the x-axis. मैं उनको highlight कर रहा हूँ and I want you guys to tell me the answers one by one. So one is the one that I've highlighted in green and the other is the one that I've highlighted in red. Okay. So मुझे green वाले का भी answer बताएं, मुझे red वाले का भी answer बताएं. X is greater than 5. चलो ये तो बता दिया मुझे किसी ने. X is greater than 5. I'll write this in red. ठीक है. And yes, very good. For the other one, the green one, it's going to be X is greater than minus 2 and less than minus 1. ठीक है, perfect. So the questions are more or less the same beta, ठीक है, which is why let's just stick to GCE. Okay, so yeah, that's about it. Like I said, the only questions that I've skipped, you can see that this is one question that I've skipped. I've skipped it because it's similar. Again, will encourage you guys to try it out. ठीक है, इसके आंसर्स मुझे कंपाइल करने का टाइम नहीं मिला था, तो प्लीज़ मेक श्योर दैट यू चेक योर आंसर. सो वन इट बी ग्रेटर देन और इक्वल? यस, इट विल बी ग्रेटर देन और इक्वल. मैंने क्या नहीं लगाया? अगर नहीं लगाया तो गलत किया. कहाँ क्या सवाल? बिल्कुल इक्वल होगा, बिकॉज क्वेश्चन में इक्वल था ना, तो बिल्कुल इक्वल होगा. थैंक यू फॉर पॉइंटिंग आउट. आज गलतियाँ कुछ ज़्यादा ही हो रही हैं. अच्छा, सो लास्ट मिनट एडवाइस. बेटा कंपाइलेशन क्या 2020 ऑनवर्ड्स आप पेपर्स खोलो, उसमें जो APGP का सवाल है वो कर लो. ज़्यादा क्वेश्चंस है ही नहीं उसमें, ठीक है. APGP में ज़्यादा क्वेश्चंस है ही नहीं. हाँ, कैलकुलेटर की वीडियो मैं अपलोड कर दूंगा, डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट. y इक्वल, अच्छा y इक्वल, दैट्स बिकॉज द क्वेश्चन सेट. सो ठीक है, मैं यहाँ पे फाइनल आंसर लिख ही देता हूँ. ठीक है, सो x इज़ ग्रेटर देन और इक्वल टू -2, लेसर देन और इक्वल टू 1, और x इज़ ग्रेटर देन और इक्वल टू 5. ठीक है, there you go. फॉर्मूला शीट, देयर इज नो सच थिंग एज फॉर्मूला शीट. ठीक है, बस जो बेसिक्स हैं वो याद रखो, किस का डेरिवेटिव क्या होता है. ठीक है, रिमेंबर ऑल ऑफ दैट एंड यू शुड बी गुड. ठीक है, ओके. सो आई एम गोना स्टॉप हियर. देखो, ओके, वन थिंग दैट आई वांट टू से टू यू गाइस इज इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू फील at one point that you've prepared enough. Okay, whatever it is that you have done, it's very likely that you might feel that you're underprepared. Okay, that's normal. Okay, that's completely normal. If you're feeling nervous, okay, so see, the only reason why you're nervous is probably because you put in effort. Okay, I mean, at this point only two kinds of people will not be nervous. Okay, one who haven't put in any effort, and two, the ones who are just faking it. Okay, they are nervous inside, but you know, they're just good fakers. Okay, they're good at hiding it. Okay, but other than that, whoever has put in effort, okay, it doesn't matter how small, how big, will be nervous. Okay, it's possible that you might feel that you're forgetting concepts. Okay, it's possible that you might feel that you're forgetting even the most basic concepts. Okay, that's very likely, but that does not mean that that is the case. Okay, the anxiety, the fear is real. Okay, it's the fear of the unknown. Okay, so the sooner you embrace this feeling, I'm not going to say that don't feel anxious or don't feel nervous. That's normal. Okay, I could totally say that. Okay, you shouldn't be nervous at this point. Okay, but that's easier said than done. Okay, so just embrace this feeling, know that you're not alone who's feeling this. It's because of the fear of the unknown, and the sooner you embrace it, the better it is for you. And just believe in yourself. Okay, believe in all the efforts that you've put in, all the efforts that your teachers have put in, your parents, whoever has helped you along the way. Just believe in yourself. Know that doesn't matter how hard or how difficult the paper is, you should just be counting on your own capabilities. Okay, if it's easy, very good. If it's difficult, then I'm sure you've prepared for the worst also. Okay, so that's the only thing you should be worried about. Okay, is where you stand rather than, and don't discuss this with too many people. Okay, if you discuss it with someone who might just end up convincing you, okay, oh, I'm not nervous at all, why are you so nervous? Okay, oh, it's so easy, admaths is so easy. Okay, so if you do that, you'll probably end up feeling more nervous. Okay, so just spend time with yourself, be alone with your books, be alone with, watch some videos that I've made. Okay, उनको 2x पे देख लो बेशक, and just skim through the notes. I've recently shared my notes. You can watch. You can skim through that also. Okay, but do not put yourself in a testing position either. Okay, I repeat, do not put yourself in a testing position. Okay, do not solve a mock, do not solve a test or a past paper. Don't do that. Okay, not at all recommended, because then you will just enter into a panic mode. Okay, so yeah, that's about it. Okay, and remember, after tomorrow the job will be only half done. Okay, so I want you guys to make sure that you remember all the topics that were tested in paper 1, so we can prepare for paper 2 accordingly. Sir, are you a teacher at Nixer? Yes, I am. Nixer O levels. Sir, in linear modulus x, value of vertex is taken by putting absolute value. Yeah, whatever is inside the absolute function equal to 0. Yes, that's what you do. Relative velocity isn't included. No, it's not included. अभी तक ये सवाल आ रहा है relative velocity का. Okay. Acha, for trigonometric graphs, please refer to my videos. Okay, and please try and make sure now. Okay, so I don't know what time zone you are in, but in Pakistan right now it's 9:15 p.m. and the cutoff time that I gave to my students and I'll give to you guys is 9 p.m. Okay, whatever it is that you want to do. I know we're already 20 minutes past that, but make sure that you wind up your preparation as soon as possible. Okay, and get at least 7-8 hours of sleep. It's very important to have a functioning brain in admaths. Okay, otherwise you'll just end up forgetting stuff and you won't be able to solve the paper as effectively as you would like. Okay. So best time to complete paper? Well, there's no best or worst time. ठीक है, ऐसा कोई सीन नहीं है. It's जितना जल्दी आप कर लें उतना आपके लिए अच्छा है. -2 to -1. Oh, Shifa, thank you. Thank you. It's -2 to -1. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, that's about it, guys. Take care, everyone. Good luck. Pray for yourself. Pray for your classmates. Whoever's helped you along the way, pray for them. Pray for me also while you're at it. Chale, Allah Hafiz. See you guys. We'll inshallah keep a stream tomorrow, either for math, if not for admaths. Okay? So Allah Hafiz.